Welcome to The Warning of Twilight: Faith, Compromise, and Grace. This visual study delves into the profound warning letter found within the ancient story of Lot in Genesis chapter 19. This chapter is far more than just a historical account of judgment. It serves as a powerful mirror, reflecting an uncomfortable question back to us: can a person of faith, a righteous individual, truly lose their way in the darkness of compromise and moral decay? Let's begin by contrasting two pivotal moments: the day of the friend, and the evening of the compromiser. Consider Abraham, in the heat of the day, at the door of his tent, embodying a pilgrim mindset. He runs to meet God, offering a feast: fine flour and a fatted calf, a clear picture of joy and abundance. Now, turn to Lot, in the evening, as shadows begin to fall. He's at the gate of Sodom, settled, assimilated. He bows, but remains rooted in the city, offering unleavened bread, a sign of haste and anxiety. This contrast isn't just about atmosphere, it's a theological signal. Abraham stands bathed in the light of revelation, while Lot sits in the dim, uncertain twilight of compromise. Let's explore the seat of the scoffer and Lot's unsettling progression. In Genesis chapter 13, Lot merely pitched his tent near Sodom. A few chapters later, by Genesis chapter 19, he is sitting in the gate. This shift has significant implications. The city gate was the place where elders and leaders would gather to judge matters, to conduct business, and to hold court. Lot is no longer a mere sojourner. He has ascended to a position of influence and status within the very structure of that city. This serves as a powerful warning. Often, external success can cunningly mask internal compromise. Lot gained a seat of leadership, but in doing so, he dangerously lost his spiritual distinctiveness. Next, we examine service without peace. The symbol here is Lot serving unleavened bread, or matzah. In this context, it isn't about Passover, it signifies haste. He urges the angels to rise early and leave, reflecting a deep anxiety. While Abraham's hospitality was a joyous celebration, Lot's hospitality, though seemingly protective, was essentially a cover-up. He tried to shield his guests, but his actions were driven by fear of his neighbors, not by the genuine joy of fellowship. This prompts us to reflect: are our own acts of service truly born from faith, or are they performed anxiously, a desperate attempt to maintain our status and approval in the world? Now, let's look at the collapse of a society through the lens of Sodom. The city's corruption was terrifyingly pervasive. Demographically, it included young and old, indicating intergenerational corruption. No age group was spared. Geographically, it spanned from every quarter, signifying a systemic infection that left no area untouched. And in terms of unity, it was all the people, demonstrating a unanimous consensus on evil. This tragic scene confirms the reality of Genesis chapter 18, where Abraham prayed that the city might be spared for just 10 righteous people. This moment reveals the devastating truth: there were not even 10. The corruption was absolute and total. Central to this story is the demand to know. The Hebrew word yada, literally meaning to know, is used here. But in this specific context, it's a chilling euphemism for violent, non-consensual sexual assault. The theological implication extends far beyond mere lust. It is an act of power and extreme violence. It represents an assault on the imago Dei, the image of God which these angelic guests carried. When a society elevates its own desires as the highest law, it inevitably devolves into predatory behavior. This brings us to a horrific moment, when virtue becomes a monster. Lot goes out to confront the mob, and in a shocking act, he offers his 2 virgin daughters to appease them. As one insight beautifully puts it, when a virtue like hospitality becomes an idol, it inevitably creates a monster. Lot attempts to solve one sin, the violence against his guests, with another, even more grievous sin, the sacrifice of his own daughters. He sacrifices the dignity and safety of his family to protect his distorted code of honor. This is truly the end of the twilight. Lot's moral compass has been so profoundly broken by compromise that he now calls evil good, revealing a devastating spiritual blindness. Let's consider the illusion of influence. The mob scoffs at Lot, saying, "This fellow came to sojourn, and he judges us." There's a profound irony here. Lot had compromised for years, patiently working to gain a seat at the gate and earn the respect of the city. Yet, in this moment of crisis, they respected him less than a complete stranger. The key takeaway is clear: compromise buys you no true authority. The world ultimately despises the believer who tries so desperately to be just like them. In this moment of ultimate peril, we seek the sovereign door. The action is clear. First, the angels reach out and physically pull Lot into the house, and then, they shut the door. This highlights a crucial theological point: Lot did not save himself. He was utterly outmatched and overwhelmed. Salvation came from the outside, grabbing him by the collar, an undeniable act of unilateral grace. The symbolism here echoes the ark in Noah's time. God shuts us in when we are utterly incapable of protecting ourselves. Following this, we witness blindness at the door. The angels perform a miracle, striking the mob with physical blindness. This serves as a potent spiritual mirror. They were already spiritually blind to the holiness of the guests, and now they become physically blind to the very door they desperately sought. The horror continues as, even blind, they wear themselves out, trying to find the door. Their commitment to evil is exhaustive, relentless, and utterly unyielding, even in the face of divine intervention. This raises a crucial point: the paradox of the righteous man. The question is, how can 2 Peter chapter 27 call Lot righteous, and say he was tormented by the lawless deeds he witnessed, yet his behavior in Genesis chapter 19 is so deeply flawed? The answer lies in understanding that Lot's righteousness was not in his behavior, which was clearly failing, but in his standing before God. God saved Lot, not because Lot was a heroic figure, but because God is profoundly merciful. We may see Lot's limits and his glaring faults, but God, in his infinite wisdom, sees Lot's heart. Let's compare the better sacrifice. Lot's method involved attempting to sacrifice his innocent daughters to save his guests, resulting in a moral tragedy. In stark contrast, we have the gospel method. God sacrificed his innocent son to save his enemies, resulting in a moral triumph. The core truth here is profound. The cross is not about sacrificing others for your own safety, it is about God sacrificing himself for our rescue. Jesus perfectly resolves the dilemma that utterly broke Lot. So, how do we go about escaping the twilight? The story of Lot teaches us that we can be saved, just as Lot was, yet still lead a life that tragically ends in ruin, much like Lot's family. Lot was indeed rescued, but he lost his home, his wife, and most devastatingly, the moral respect of his daughters. This is a clear warning: do not settle for a saved by fire existence. We are called to actively step out of the gate of Sodom before the sun goes completely down. Let us conclude with a prayer for stability. O God, save us from the twilight. Let our kindness flow from genuine faith, not from fear. Let our distinctiveness come from abundant love, not from pride. Hold us steadfast when we stumble, and graciously pull us through the door of your grace, just as you did for Lot. This prayer is based on the devotional reading of Genesis chapters 191 to 11.